I think it's only fitting that for our 91st episode of the podcast, something positive happened for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was born in 1991.
We were all born in 91?
We were.
I thought you were foreshadowing Stamkos. I'm sorry.
No.
That as well.
Wow, we could. However, there's a new player coming to town. His name is Austin Matthews. Because the Leafs won the 2016 draft lottery, which, realistically, they should have. But we all know how Leafs do in April. Not well.
It's May. But it happened in April.
Yes.
Got it.
So today we'll talk about kind of the results of the draft lottery first because that's the biggest news. Then we'll wrap up Game 7 as we haven't been on this podcast since last Tuesday anyways. So that was when the last game was played. And then we'll do a recap of all the series so far, including some NHL news as there's been some big firings. And the World Championships start this week, so we'll just touch on that for a little bit. I'm sure Cam has some notes about it. You don't have anything. No. You did not come prepared.
I have NHL
totally lying.
Mark Scheif from 18 Canada. It's not worth my time anymore.
Okay.
If Giroux doesn't make it, done.
So,
it's over.
did all three of us watch the draft lottery? Because I did.
Listened to it on the radio.
I watched it. I did. I watched it at the community center.
So, this was Sportsnet's highest rated night of the playoffs.
For good measure.
For the draft lottery.
Yeah. All Canadians
because all the Canadians were watching it. Now,
had a chance.
Which, obviously you're different than I am, but Dan, which number were you most worried about going into it? Because there was a number that I was most worried about seeing going into the top three. I was very happy with
which team I didn't want in the top three?
Yes.
Okay, well, if there's two teams that I didn't want in the top three, it was Vancouver and Edmonton. And they're the two teams that got knocked out of the top three. So I was totally
for later. However,
totally
the team that I was like sitting on the edge of my seat, number 10 comes up, which was Colorado's pick. I'm like, come on, Montreal. Because I would have loved to have seen Colorado move up to the top three.
They've had their chance.
They have. So they don't get called. They get number 10 again, which it's actually projected that there's going to be a defenseman there for them to draft, and also they got Mikko Rantanen last year at number 10. So they do well at number 10. Then number 9 was Montreal, and I was so fucking happy when Bill Daly, deputy commissioner, showed the card of Montreal Canadiens. I was like, yes, nothing else matters. And then obviously we get to pick number 6, and that's when Winnipeg went crazy.
I
just heard
they were flipping him over, and they're like the same. I'm like, yeah, here comes fucking Winnipeg, and it was Calgary. I'm like, I froze. I'm like, wait.
And I did the math because I was listening to it on the radio on the way to a hockey game.
I'm like, wait, like my first thought, I'm like, okay, so we're 5th, and I'm like, wait, no, we're top 3.
I did the backtrack in my head. I'm like, wait, whoa. Yeah. Did I miss Winnipeg? Because I missed picks like 11 to 9. I missed it because I was just getting in the car, like not paying attention. Yeah. And then I got in the car, and it's like, pick number 7, and whoever 7 was, and it's like, all right, I'm like, Jets. Vancouver.
No, it was Calgary.
Calgary. And I'm like...
Pick 6.
And number 6 goes to Calgary. And they're like, that means Jets are in the top 3. And they pan to Kevin Cheveldayoff, and he lets a little smirk out. He's just like...
Stone face. Side smirk.
He's pretty happy about that.
They showed the Silver Eagle bald bear, and the Silver Eagle, Brian Burke.
He was not happy. He was not impressed. Then number 5 comes up, and that was the Vancouver Canucks, which was shocking. Because that meant Columbus got the other top 3 pick. So we now have Columbus and Winnipeg, 2 teams out of the top 3, now in the top 3, which also are, well, not necessarily Columbus would be there, but Columbus could have been 4th, I believe, which meant Edmonton was 4, Columbus, or no, sorry, I'm wrong. Columbus was automatically in, but that last pick came down to Edmonton or Toronto. It was either going to be one of those 2 teams for number 4. And I, standing in my room, like not in my room, but in my family room where I was watching it, and I'm like, Mom, it's going to get real loud up in here in about 2 seconds. And he flips over. I'm like, yeah! So,
how pissed off would everyone have been if they flipped over the Leafs? And Edmonton got the first pick.
I would have lost it.
You know what? The 2 teams I really didn't want to be in the top 3 were New Jersey and Vancouver. That's it. Why? They do not deserve it. I'm sorry. That's okay.
I did somewhat feel bad for Trevor Linden. Because he's like...
He did look pretty upset.
But... nonetheless, so then it goes down to the top 3. Goes down to top 3, and I have to say this is I feel that Columbus being in the top 3. I know it's random, but it's got to go back to last year a little bit because they went on like a 9-1 tear at the end of the year, and they played themselves out of a top 5 pick. Sure, they got Werenski. However, this is kind of like their makeup for that. Now they're going to look like they're going to get Jesse Puljujarvi, as they got number 3. The Jets got number 2. So a lot of Jets fans pretty happy about that, which meant the Leafs got number 1, and they get Austin Matthews. However, he cannot wear 34.
He's wearing 34.
He's not wearing 34.
He already has more worth than James Reimer ever did.
No!
James Reimer never brought joy to the city of
Yes,
Toronto like Austin Matthews will. And already has.
This is very true. His jersey will sell out so fast.
Are you going to get a 34? Because that's a horrible number.
I won't. I would if it was James Reimer jersey.
Yeah.
So what does this mean? Now we know the top 3. What does this mean going forward for those 3 franchises? So let's start with the Leafs getting Austin Matthews. Does that mean they're not going to go after a guy like Steven Stamkos?
Yes.
Or a David Backes or something like
They've
that?
been training Nylander as centerman.
They're 100% going to go after Stamkos. If he's there, they're going to try.
Here's the thing.
Austin Matthews isn't going to turn the franchise around by himself. He's the guy you build the team around, but he's not going to do it by himself.
Here's my question.
That's my...
Would there be a better set of 3 centermen than Matthews, Stamkos, and Kadri? If that was their top 3 centermen?
It's not bad.
They've been training Nylander.
I know they have. And that's why I'm thinking they're not going to go for Austin Matthews. Or why they're not going to go for Steven Stamkos is because they've been training Nylander as centerman. Now, which brings us to number 2, which means Patrick Laine, mostly scouted as the number 2 guy.
He's pretty close to being number 1.
Apparently, the Jets are one of the only teams in the NHL that had him as their number 1.
You know what? I just want to say, just based off numbers, straight number 29, that one Oduya fan that sits by Dan is so jacked up right now. I know where he sits because he's the only guy. He still wears it.
Yep.
Still wears it.
Yep.
So proud. But Patrick Laine is the shooter. He's the trigger man. And that's a guy you want.
You know what?
He's being compared to, right now it's Ovechkin because he's in the playoffs, but all year it's been Kovalchuk. And Dan said it last podcast. Timo Solani said he's probably going to be one of the best Finnish players ever. Well, that's good endorsement to a guy coming from Winnipeg.
Maybe people disagree with me, and I'm sure TSN will, because they haven't done a single story about the Jets winning the draft lottery. It's all been the Leafs.
Of course. Yeah, naturally. Come on.
But
a story.
I think Winnipeg getting number 2 is. I think they're more winners than the Leafs.
Yes and no.
The Leafs were. You had a pretty good idea they were going to get at least one of the top 3, probably the top pick.
Yeah.
They're going to get the best player in the draft. They're going to get the guy that they can build their team around for their future. Their team's a little ways off. Patrick Laine could be the final piece that the Jets need.
To make playoffs?
To
put that team... To make that team...
But
if he... Because the one thing the Jets don't have is a trigger guy. And if that's what he is, and if he... They haven't drafted second overall in...
A long time. Patrick Stefan, which was number 1.
Kovalchuk was probably the last one.
Here's the thing.
But that could be the final piece that they need to make their team... They're going to be young, don't get me wrong, which blew up in their face this year, but it was almost all worth it now.
Here's the thing. Are you willing to go in... Now, I know this is going to work for the future, but to next year, with your top 6 having 3 teenagers in it?
3.
Kyle Connor, Nikolai Ehlers,
I think
and
Ehlers
Patrick
is
Laine.
20 now.
Okay, almost 3 teenagers in your lineup. Now, Patrick Laine has been scouted as he's not a fast skater. Like, he's not going to beat you with speed. He's going to beat you with toughness. Like, he's 6'4", over 200 pounds at 18.
He's going to learn so much from Dustin Byfuglien, and I bet you he's going to get a lot of, I bet you, just being a rookie, he'll take a lot of penalties in regards to roughing or interference because he doesn't know how big he is, and North American ice is, smaller. 10 feet smaller?
And he's going to be that much better because he's not the fastest skater. And that's what they are in Finland and over in Europe. They're just faster skaters because they have more room to do stuff. He's going to have less room, which means he's going to be able to use his size.
With Ehlers. Tell Ehlers to go grab the puck. No, maybe not Ehlers. But the speed, do the work with the puck.
Which leads in great with the fact that they're trying to build for the Western Conference, and I think he's a guy that's going to help them build towards a strong Western Conference team. Because you need guys that are 6'4", that are going to just do that. Now, and we've had a great history in Winnipeg with Finnish hockey players coming here and being successful. Teppo Numminen and Teemu Selänne, of course.
And Teemu Miettinen, obviously.
Fantastic.
Johnny Oduya is Swedish. Damn it.
He's the wrong nationality.
But
not even close.
obviously, these guys have to be reaching out to him and saying, you're going to love it there. If they do pick him, of course. But I don't think it's a secret right now that they're probably going to pick Laine.
Unless Toronto comes out of the woodwork, they're like, we signed Stamkos and guess what? Patrick Laine.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing. That means the Jets would get
Puljujärvi.
Puljujärvi.
Or what?
Obviously.
What?
Come on, Dan. Matthews.
If they got Matthews, how sick would Matthews?
We're bugging you, Dan.
Yeah, we're bugging you. Kyle Connor, Matthews, Little would be their second line.
Well, okay, no, now hold on.
I think they aren't too clogged down center because I mean I guess the only really proven center
is Brian Little right now.
Well, I'd say
Shifley
after this year.
Well, now everyone is talking about in Winnipeg, like within
a winger,
hours,
a guy that can put the puck in the net at any given time is what they need.
Can you put Brian Little now? Because obviously their top line is clearly Shifes, Ehlers, Wheeler.
Yeah.
Are they going to put? I trust him enough, but do they want to do it? Brian Little, Patrick Laine, Kyle Connor.
That's what I was thinking. Why wouldn't you?
My only question is, what do you have to lose to try it?
No, I'm saying I'm excited. I want to see it.
That leaves Nick Petan, Drew Stafford, Matthew Perreault as your third line, which is not bad.
Hey, Brendan Lemieux's making the team next
year.
Yeah,
but he's going to
be... Maybe he's a fourth line.
Buckle up, Chase. Because Brendan's bringing on to the Jets.
Who?
Chase DeLeo, of course.
Here's my other two.
Terrible too.
This could also be their as much as Dan does not like Andrew Kopp, he looked great in the last 15 games.
He looked better down the stretch.
So Andrew Kopp, Joel Armia, Brendan Lemieux could be their fourth line.
Adam Lowry, Joel Armia, Brendan Lemieux.
How many guys
Adam Lowry
left?
would be up and down.
Oh yeah,
Chris Thorburn.
And Burmistrov would be in there. Thorburn, Peluso.
Why not dump Burmistrov?
This is the thing. There's a lot of dead weight on this team with us being able to move up because you're getting a guy who's ready this year. You're not getting a guy like Tkachuk who you don't know if he's going to be ready this year. You know Laine is ready now.
He got MVP of the Simliga. Like, the MVP of a men's league that his team won it, and he got, you're the best player. He's an 18-year-old.
You're 18, and you're the best at something that these guys have been playing for longer than you've been alive.
Yeah. Now, it might not click next year. They might not make the playoffs next year. I'm not saying they're going to, but in 2 or 3 years, they could be scary good.
Here's the other thing, is I think guys like Adam Lowry, who could be a commodity to some teams, or Perreault, as much as I don't want to say it, who's on an expiring contract this year, you got to decide. You want to keep Lowry, do you want to keep Perreault? But you can move those guys for bottom 4 defensemen. You know, those probably 4 to 6 slot defensemen, because they have their 1, 2, 3 in Trouba, Bufflin, and Enstrom. No, Myers. That's what I was going at. But they have their top 3 defensemen. They need to fill in those other holes, because Mark Stewart probably won't be here very much longer. Enstrom we want to get rid of because he's clogging up cap.
Well, those guys both have a year left. So.
Yeah.
Enstrom has 2 years left.
And then there's also the Pavlik-Hutchinson thing. But I will say something about Michael Hutchinson. Do not be surprised if Michael Hutchinson moves...
at the draft.
At the draft to Florida.
Wait, they still have a second pick. It's 22nd overall.
And Cheveldae offsides in play.
Ooh.
Vincent Trocheck?
Yes.
Trocheck train.
Here's my other question.
Here's my other question. I know that neither of us have watched a lot of Florida, but I was looking at the RFA list this year.
I know you're talking about. I watch every Florida game.
And if we want to build, and if we want to get better defense, there's a defenseman available.
Dmitry Kulikov?
I was going with Eric Goodbranson.
Oh!
You think they'd move?
And
he's a poor man's Bogosian. Why do we want that problem again?
I don't know.
Is he bad?
No, I don't know. I don't watch enough. You're right.
But here's the issue in Florida right now.
He's big.
They are going into the prime of that team with a goalie that's leaving his prime in Roberto Luongo. Al Montoya's up at the end of this season. They need a goaltender. I think Michael Hutchinson's a great fit there. If they don't go after Frederik Andersen, but I doubt Frederik Andersen's ready to enter that situation, along with Florida paying him $4 or $5 million to be the backup to Roberto Luongo.
Again, and he doesn't want to be the 1A again,
exactly.
Or 1B. He wants to be the guy. Yeah.
I wouldn't give up Hutchinson and a first for Goodbranson.
No. Florida could be the guy.
Pieces.
Essentially, yeah.
Or maybe even Florida's pick and just move higher.
But there's also there's also
they're not going to get it.
Granted, playoffs are still going, so it's not going to pick up. But the Travis Hamonic bus is going to start picking up speed again.
Especially with that first pick. Now, here's the thing: they get a draft at both 32 and at 22. If they can move those,
they get the 6th round pick in the 2nd round still.
No.
But,
oh, really?
Yeah. So they have 2, 22, 36.
That's dumb.
It's only the first round they get 2nd pick.
That's stupid. Okay, either way, they have the 36th pick.
They have 3 picks in the top 36 players.
Okay, so they have 36 and 22, which I would be surprised if they keep both. Like, they could evidently move up somewhere in the 16th spot maybe and get another defenseman. There are defensemen in this draft. I just don't know where they're going to go. Now, before we move on to the playoffs, I just want to talk. What does Jesse Puljujarvi mean to the Columbus Blue Jackets? Is he a Ryan Johansson replacement? Even though they play 2 different positions, but are they?
I still think that they need D more than they need forwards.
Well, they have Werenski coming through the.
I get that, but they need more than him. They're very
Jack
thin.
Johnson.
Yeah, that's
Jack
too...
Johnson. Just kidding.
Yeah, he's slightly rich man's Mark Stewart.
Ryan Murray.
I'm with.
I think they're very thin in the back end.
But him coming in,
he's going to be good for them no matter what. No matter what, he's going to be good for them. I don't know if he's going to correct their team though.
No.
With what they need, I think.
Do you think Jarmo Kakalainen was just like, I got to pick a Finn? I'm pretty happy about
yes,
that.
Of course. Jarmo Kakalainen's also like half insane. So just based off me, that's my opinion. Like, I think he's crazy. Some of the stuff he does, like bring in Tortorella.
The last thing we have to do before we move on to playoffs is, what do the Oilers do at 4? Because they didn't win this year. And number 4 is either Dubois or Tkachuk. The closest defenseman ranked, I think, right now is...
7th?
Is 7th?
Oli Ulevi.
Oli Ulevi.
Wow.
And I think Chychrun's dropped to outside the top 10.
He has.
So, what... If you're Edmonton, what do?
You dangle.
There's
teams out there.
There's 2 options. You stay where you are, and you can pick any, because no matter what, no defense is going in the top 3. No, I don't think
there won't be a defenseman probably in the top 5.
You stand pat and you take the picking. You take any defenseman you want in the entire draft, whoever you think is going to be the best, or you move down a couple spots, get a player in return. Maybe you get a defenseman. And you move down a couple spots. Then you draft another defenseman, then you get 2.
Here's the thing. And I was discussing this with friends because the NFL draft just happened. And I think there's got to be a point in the draft where you say, we got to stop drafting best player available, and we got to draft best player for our team.
That's called anything after the 3rd round in the NFL draft.
But
in the NFL draft.
Even first round, guys were doing that. The Atlanta Falcons picked up Keanu Neal, who's a safety who hits hard, and they needed a fast safety. When there are other guys on the board, better safeties, whatever, they pick the best player for their system. So there are teams that can do that. Now, what Dan's saying is make a flyer at 4 who's projected as 7 or 8, picking him at 4. It's not a terrible idea because you're getting your positional player that you want. But my argument is I think 4 is too early to draft for position. I think when you have a chance to get a guy like Dubois, who's a big body, who's going to hit, he's going to if he's out there, he's going to complement both Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or whoever you put him with, and it gives you the freedom to move a Nail Yakupov, move a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, because you have another safety net on your team. Because you instead of trading a pick for something, you're trading a player who's been established in the league for another player who's going to help your team out.
So you're keeping the pick.
I'm keeping
player
the pick.
for player.
I'm keeping the pick, trading player for player.
You're both taking those. I would say you package it and you get that D. You get a D you need. I don't know why. Very outlandish. I doubt it'll happen because I don't see them needing this much at all. But for some reason, when you guys named Edmonton and moving a pick and then mentioned a D, this isn't a guy. I can't see this. It just popped in my head, so I want to say it. Roman Yossi to Nashville. No. I know.
Will never happen, but I understand what you're saying.
He's not getting
a guy on Nashville I could see moving, even though I love him on Nashville, and I was having a discussion with Stefan, our old co-host here. They have one of the most underrated D-cores in the league, and a guy who I think doesn't get a lot of attention because he's Nashville is Matej Ekholm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
great
he's
player,
tremendous.
great number, great name.
Exactly.
Great name.
Why wouldn't Edmonton... Now, would it help Nashville's offense to get another player like, I don't know, a Jordan Everly or a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? Hell yeah.
That's a Yakupov one.
Or a Yakupov one.
I don't know. I agree. I don't know.
Either way.
But
I'm
yes,
just saying.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Nashville beating the Anaheim Ducks and inevitably getting Bruce Boudreau fired, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. Nashville winning Game 7, what was it, 2-1?
Sure. Let's go with that.
It was 2-1 for Nashville in Game 7 over Anaheim.
Was it?
You guys didn't know?
I
You
didn't
watch
bring the notes.
Did
I watch
you didn't
it?
watch it?
I know I watched it.
I did not.
It was 2-1. Nashville went up 2-0, and then Anaheim tried, made it 2-1, and couldn't score the winning goal.
Oh, I know why I didn't watch it. I watched the third period because I was at dodgeball.
Fair enough.
I didn't watch it because I was already in round 2.
That's fair. You're in round 2 mode. Speaking of round 2, Nashville Predators taking on the San Jose Sharks in quite an actually interesting series. Two teams that have never been in this kind of... Nashville had never played in Game 7. They win again in Game 7. Looks like San Jose is finally conquering their demons. Now they're up 2-0 going into Game 3, which is going to be tonight. What has been... Have you watched a lot of the series or any of it? Have you watched some of the series?
I've watched
I haven't watched
at least a
bit.
game from every series
Okay.
so far. Yeah.
What is the biggest thing you're taking away from the series so
In
far?
Nashville, San Jose?
Nashville, San Jose. Because San Jose's up 2-0 right now. What's the biggest thing you're taking away from them?
Okay, well, I'm just going to say, for Game 1, how Nashville went up 2-0 and they were going into the third. But it was like, San Jose was all over them all game. Nashville just had two very quick strike goals.
And they're good at that.
Yeah.
With James
That's how
Neal, Ryan
Nashville's
Johansson,
gonna-
that's how they're going to beat you.
That's the only way they can beat. But Nashville, or San Jose, once Nashville let them into the game,
They took over.
I am watching...
over.
5 goals in the third. And there was 3 of them within, I think, 7 minutes.
2 were empty netters.
No,
it's
I
impressive,
know.
I know.
But the 3 that were scored
Yep.
were, the main ones were within, I'm pretty sure, 8 to 10 minutes tops.
It was close.
And then, on top, watching this team, I am hard-pressed to say that I don't think anyone in the playoffs is as good as San Jose. I don't see a chink in their armor at all.
No.
Or that's not the word. Blimp in their... I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know what I meant.
Now,
Kink.
Yeah.
before Dan talks, I'm going to interrupt him.
I really have nothing to say because I haven't watched a bit of this series.
Perfect.
All I know is San Jose is good.
Do you think San Jose has what Chicago's had in the past, what LA's had in the past when they've won Stanley Cups? And that is, if they're down a goal, no one's worried on that team?
I wasn't worried at all. The whole time they were down 2-0, I was like, no, they're pressing. If you came into this game and you hid the score, I would think San Jose was up 3-0 watching the game.
Now, must say, though, when you're up 2-0, you do stand back on heels a little bit more, which you did notice a little bit with Nashville, but they have to push forward. They have to... When they gave up that first goal, I was like, oh, San Jose's going to win now. Because all the momentum's on their side. Once it seemed in the LA series, once they were able to get any kind of momentum, it was just... It's over. They are so deep. And Logan Couture, in my mind, has stepped up big so far in this series. I think Donskoy is proven himself and given himself a name.
Donkey Man.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hurdle's been good. Their entire team, in my mind, has gone another notch above what I thought they were going to be in this playoffs. I don't know if there's a team, maybe Pittsburgh, maybe Washington, but we'll talk about that later, that's going to compete with them. And I think Martin Jones has been phenomenal.
Speaking of off-season acquisitions, I forgot where Joel Ward went.
Yes.
And then I remember why they signed Joel Ward. He was everywhere. Everywhere. The moment he was on the ice, I'm like, there he is. Got him.
You know where he is. He's out there. He makes a difference.
He's like a missile chasing the puck.
So, 2-0 right now. Where do you see this series shaping up? Obviously, it's in Smashville tonight.
Sharks at 5. Maybe Nashville takes tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe their next game. 5.
They look dominant.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not going to disagree with you. They look good. They haven't been rattled yet.
Well, and they've had the rest, and it's they want to, everyone's saying, every other team is getting, beat up. And that's the advantage. Sharks had, an extra, couple
days off.
Actually, Nashville, didn't they fly straight to San Jose?
Pretty much,
I'm not going to discredit you, but Nashville finished round 1 Wednesday, and Friday night they started round 2.
Exactly.
No,
San
that's
Jose
exactly
was
what
off,
I just said.
had a week off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's anything. Sharks are a good team. I'll take anything away from them.
2 NHL.
But
when you have two NHL teams battling, that is a tough thing to do.
and Nashville also hasn't lost at home yet.
So,
I'm
smash.
sticking with my 5.
I think it could be 6 games. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 5. But Nashville, when they score in that building, it erupts. That is a fun place to play, I think, for players. And I think they're witnessing how awesome it is to play in Nashville right now.
Can they maybe just rally around they're down 2-0, 2 games to 1? Bring in that little Saturday Night Magic. Bring the helmets
Carey?
in. The yellow helmets!
Yellow helmets.
I thought you were thinking Carey. Sorry.
Carrie. Oh, Underwood? She's always
in.
there.
But let
She
her
is the
do
magic.
something.
My favorite Carrie
Let her
Underwood.
rip the guitar solo at the intermission or something.
My favorite.
No, bring
People
Dirk Bentley
fired
in.
up. That's true. They could do that.
Oh yeah, for the coach.
Where's John Scott? They need John Scott.
What did you
Speaking of this
no.
series, Brett Burns saved a cat. And he's named Pavelski.
Oh,
Pavelski.
Joe Pavelski.
How
Yeah.
does it that?
And the cat
How
has
did
now
the cat get in the
That's
building?
fishy.
the cat has now followed them to Nashville.
No,
They brought it with them.
they gave the cat to some shelter.
And it's a plush.
They have
toy.
it with them.
No, it's a
No.
plush toy now.
It's a toy.
Oh.
They gave the actual cat to a shelter.
You can't carry a
You
cat
can't
like
bring
that's
a
gonna
stray
kill
cat
a cat.
around.
Like, how much
They
damage?
had the cat physically with
No,
them
no,
on
no,
the
no.
run.
I
I
saw-
saw it on Instagram.
Okay, well maybe they
Wow.
donated it somewhere.
Okay.
How did a
I
cat
don't
get
know.
in the building?
I don't know.
Security. We
Very
don't have
weak.
cats. We have rats.
That's an inside
the
job.
size of cats in Winnipeg.
That's an inside job.
It's an inside job.
It's an inside job.
Black cat too.
No, we have Marvin Caribou in Winnipeg.
No.
Who?
Marvin Caribou.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. For anybody who don't know who Marvin Caribou is, just look up on YouTube Marvin Caribou Winnipeg.
Am I supposed to tweet this now?
You can tweet it, yes.
Okay.
Because, and it's just funny. It's all I can say.
Dan's shaking his head, so I don't know what the. Okay, so it's obviously something real hit or miss.
Oh, it's
Okay.
hit or miss for sure. We don't mean to offend anyone, but that is.
I'm going to keep my
that is
case
a
to
thing.
myself.
Let's take our guesses as to who brought in or how the cat got in. I want to start off. Shea the Woodsman Weber crawled out of his beard. Didn't even know it was there.
No, Brett Burns crawled out of his beard. He didn't even know it was there.
The snakes would have eaten it though. They would not.
Maybe.
They smell weakness.
I don't even know.
That's
I got nothing. I
He's
literally
got
don't.
absolutely nothing.
I don't.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. Let's roll.
Janitor.
Okay.
There we go. So let's go.
Are we staying in the West?
Yeah, we're staying in the West. Talking about the Dallas Stars and the St. Louis Blues. Why are you shaking your head, Cameron?
Because he
Dallas is very. They're upsetting me.
They're upsetting you?
They're upsetting me. They're playing much better than I thought they were going
Yeah,
to.
me too.
Much better.
Yeah.
Who took Dallas in this room? Is it just you?
None of us.
None
No, God. Come on.
We all
Hey,
took,
it's-
we all took St. Louis in 6, and after watching Game 2, I'm still confident in my prediction.
Here's the other thing.
Because Dallas does not have a goalie they can rely on.
Here's here's my
They
real
don't.
question.
Okay, hold on.
When-
7 minutes into Game 2, it's 8. I know they almost
When-
won,
Get on
but
you.
still.
Hold on.
Fuck.
When it was 3-1 for St. Louis, were any of you guys at all like on the edge of your seat saying, "Well, I think Dallas is going to tie it," because I knew Dallas can tie it, and now Tyler Seguin is skating. There's no timetable for his return, but he could return, and that in itself is scary.
Dallas, I never doubt that Dallas can't come back from 3-0. I don't think they can hold 3-0 because I don't think their defense.
No,
is good.
and I agree with you.
And their goaltending clearly is suffering, and that's where they're going to get hurt. I think.
Brian Elliott just needs to continue playing his style, and then he's playing really well right
He's
now.
the most I've got to give Spanish credit because I was pooping on Mr. Elliott earlier this week. But
Don't say
Brian
pooping.
Elliott is for sure the most entertaining goalie left in the playoffs. Because he's still kind of like, oh, I'm a bit out of position. And a rolling kick save! Whoa! And he's just like jumping around his crease. What do you have to think about
I
this
feel
series?
okay about my prediction.
This
Oh,
series,
oh.
they really don't like each other. They really don't enjoy each other
No.
at all.
No,
This
they
is the
don't.
whole like rivalry thing that they wanted to build, and they're really doing a good job of it right now.
What are you doing?
Greg is like...
Should I divulge on?
I'm assuming you
Sure,
farted.
I mean, we've probably talked
No.
about worse, so you go.
I'm extremely constipated right now, and it's really getting to me. Like really getting to me. It's getting hard to.
Is it in your spine or like...
It's like everywhere, and there's like grumblings back here. I'm just like
back here?
yeah,
Like at the waist side or
I-
spinal level?
like spinal going into
Your
my.
lumbar
It's
support
it's
is...
rough. I'm going through a tough time, and it's been like that for the last 2 days at work, and I don't know what I did.
You ate vegetables.
I've been eating a shit ton of vegetables.
I'm telling you, a cup of buffalo sauce, clean you right out.
I might just go get Ex-Lax at this point.
Epicac. Oh, no, that's puke.
No, that's puking.
Yeah,
I'm not getting Epicac.
Wait. Idea. We'll flip you upside down.
Oh, okay.
Beer bong.
Epicac.
Beer bong. In
Up my ass.
Shove the
I
pill
didn't
up your
say
butt.
up your ass. I said in your bum bum.
In my bum bum.
And a whole container. And it'll be reverse effect. It'll be like Mentos and Pepsi.
I don't think that's a reverse effect. I think that would go straight into my bloodstream and be like, ugh,
I think Greg's dying.
everywhere. If you've seen that episode of Family Guy, that might
puke
be...
standing on his head. That's what'll happen.
Is that physically possible?
What's that?
If you're upside down, can you puke?
It'd come out faster. Yes.
Would it come
It's
out?
the latch
I feel like it would go like this.
Gravity is gonna suck it down.
The latch opens faster.
Yes.
It's just a little door.
Fuck.
Gravity.
That's all
Gravity
over your
goes
face.
in
That's gonna get in your eyes.
No, in your nose. It'll be a vicious, like, regurgitating a fountain of
Oh.
That's like that episode of Family Guy where Peter eats all the astronaut food.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, oh, water. And he takes a drink. He's like, everybody leave. Because he explodes into banana, like, huge, and walks away. All right,
Okay.
where were we? So the Dallas Stars.
St. Louis. Sorry. Yeah, so if my voice travels a little bit differently, it's because I'm in our studio, as I put that in air
you'll
quotes.
see. You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see it
see.
episode 100.
We got-
But as I'm just like walking around, just kind of like, this is rough. I'm in rough shape right now. That's
I
all
went for a
can say.
run yesterday, and I think I broke my foot.
I went for a run a couple days ago. Now my entire lower back, all my body hurts. I'm just like, this sucks. Why does trying to lose weight suck so fucking much?
I don't know,
It
but
just
I know
sucks.
I know what you have for dinner wasn't the best choice today.
Today I had wings, and I feel great about it.
What
That's
kind?
it.
I had 9 lemon pepper and 9 barbecue.
You did
For
the
18
9
beers.
split?
For an 18 wings.
No, you
and
do
then I got
6,
French
6,
fries.
6.
No, you do 9s because
No
you don't
one
need,
9
Why?
splits. Did you
You
not?
can't do 9.
You can't
You-
9 split.
I did 9 today.
No!
Yes. What's wrong with
Who
9?
does that?
That's the title of our podcast, The 9 Split. Second round / second round.
I don't know. Draft lottery maybe? No, the 9 split. What is wrong with it? I don't need 3 fucking flavors. I'm good enough with 2.
9.
Fuck you.
Okay, let's move on.
9. It's
I'm
perfect.
No, we're
It's
done.
perfect.
This is an end conversation.
I hate you.
I
so
don't know
much.
what happened.
Are you still confident in your pick? Dan said yes.
Yes.
What did I pick? Did I pick St. Louis?
We
in 7?
all took St. Louis in 6.
We all picked 6.
Ugh.
Everybody.
I could see
Fine.
Dallas in 6 at this point.
No.
I think tonight- I think-
the better team.
I think the team that wins tonight is going to be the team that wins the series.
The dude I called the guy. You're taking my role. I think they might win.
Hey.
Chances are showing that the team who wins third game has better chance of winning the series.
I did that in round 1, so you guys are
But here's the thing.
I do it all
and I was
year.
wrong.
I
'cause
do it all
I
year.
said whoever won game 3 would win the series, and Anaheim won game
Guys,
3,
I've
and they
lost-
didn't win.
I've lost my right to be. I called the guy because I said Cam Talbot was going to have 8 shutouts. Okay? I lost that
You also
right.
thought the Flyers were going to be the Caps.
They scared him.
I
They
would ta-
did more than most people
I
thought
would have
they
taken
would.
Cam Talbot with 8 shutouts over that.
Oh.
Ouch.
I'm just saying. I'm
I
sorry.
hurt.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What was I going to say?
Dallas Stars.
I think tonight's a big game because it's the first game in St. Louis. Sometimes when you go home and that's the big thing is if you're able to take one on the road,
You have home ice.
you have home ice now. So they have home ice now. It's their series. It's St. Louis's series to lose. So if they win tonight, I think they win the series.
Hold on, it's St. Louis' series to lose. Well, they were up 3-1 in the last one.
Hey,
And what happened?
they still won.
They won.
They
now.
won in overtime.
No, they didn't. Game 7 wasn't overtime, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You're right. Regulation. I was thinking game 6.
It
was
might as
overtime.
well have been like sudden death the way the refs are calling it. They're like,
No.
hey, St. Louis, you touch the puck. 2 minutes. And Chicago's like, that's right, you don't touch that puck. And you're like, what the hell is happening?
None of
All
these.
right, let's go to the East.
Let's go to the East. Tampa Bay, New York Islanders. The most surprising series thus far, as the Islanders took game 1. They look pretty. Obviously, in game 2, Tampa Bay came back.
Who
They looked
took
strong.
the Islanders?
I know.
This guy right here. Nobody
I'm
was
not
surprised.
confident in your pick. Mm-mm.
When it was
The
3-0.
real Islanders came to play the other day when they lost.
By the way,
4-1.
this series has been dirty. Very dirty. These teams don't like
What
each
was
other.
dirty?
I didn't know. Well, I don't know if it's dirty. Very rough.
It's physical. Eric Condra got knocked the fuck out in the first period of the first
where
game.
did Matt Martin come from? I mean, I know he's
been
in
there
the
for a
league,
long time.
Wow, he's really.
He's mean.
Every time he's on the ice, he's making me react like, what?
You missed what Killorn did to who did he do it to? He went straight to the face of somebody, and then got a good hack after.
You know what?
At the end of game one.
At the end of game one. You have a face like I look. I want to punch you.
He has a name of the person.
He's knocking on the door.
He's knocking on that door. He looks like a douche, and he's starting to act like one.
He's a Brian Boyle 2.0, and he plays with Brian
Boyle.
I fucking hate Brian Boyle.
Why?
Because every Saturday night, the Rangers would play the Leafs, and the Rangers, along with Brian Boyle, Brian Boyle had 2 goals. He scores 4 goals all year. 4 of them against the Leafs on Saturday night.
It was probably on Rhyme
I will agree with Greg.
Was it on Rhyme Time, Greg? Was it on Rhyme Time?
I'm not
and yet Austin Matthews isn't allowed to wear.
He's not allowed to wear 34. James Reimer's number. He's coming back.
He's not going.
Coming back this year.
He's not going.
Dreams can come true.
He will take a discount.
We got Daniel Winnick back, and we got another pick for him.
You got Daniel Winnick back, and you traded him again.
Things happen for a reason, Cameron.
Why do you sign the same guy 2 years in a row and trade him 2 years in a row?
Because it works. We got picks out of it. It works.
We're gonna do it again next year.
We're gonna trade back for him. We're gonna swap Brooks Lake for Daniel Winnick, and then trade Daniel Winnick again.
That's ruthless.
I hope he goes on.
What if the Caps accepted that? They're like, hey, Brooksy, you know what? You've been with our organization for about 10 years, 11 years. We're going to trade you away in our cup run because you're not that good. But we're going to bring you back once we win the cup so you don't get a ring. Oh, ruthless.
They wouldn't do that.
By the way, Brooks Lake's job was taken over by a very cheaper version of him in Mike Richards. I just realized that now.
It's true.
So, obviously, 1-1 going into tonight. I don't know what the score is currently.
1-1.
Okay.
For the Islanders in Tampa.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 1-1 the series. Where do you see the series going by next week? So I believe they play 3 times.
Islanders in 7, like I said. Islanders in 6, I think I said.
I don't know what you said.
I stand by my Tampa in 5.
No.
I stand by that.
Good.
Stand by.
I think Ben Bishop's a better goalie.
Their offense. I'm not even talking about goalies. No offense. Too much. Too much to handle for Tampa.
For
Tampa's offense.
I'm honestly going to tell. I think the Islanders are a deeper team. If you look at the whole team, I think they're deeper.
I've really liked the way Islanders are playing hockey.
And I also think John Tavares is better than anybody on Tampa.
However,
now, given that Steven Stamkos is not playing.
Right now, when it gets into the nitty-gritty, because this series will probably go 6 or 7. Sorry, Cam. When it gets down to those games 6 and 7, this experience of going to last year's Stanley Cup final is going to come to Tampa Bay, and I think that's going to help them in this series against a team that has not been past the first round before. They've only played 6 playoff games together before this year. I think the tiredness of playing 7 games last series is going to catch up to them when it gets into those final couple games of this series.
The Islanders haven't been past the second round in what?
6 games. Sorry, 6.
Nobody played 7 games last round.
Yeah, they did.
What are you saying?
I'm confused.
The Islanders won 6.
I know. I meant 6. But the fact that they played 6 and Tampa didn't. Tampa had more of a rest than the Islanders did.
Well, Tampa also had an easier opponent. I think.
Very true.
We have that on record now.
Yes, I would like to keep that on record.
I'm not saying they played well.
Did I trail off in that thought?
No.
It was very confusing. The wording was very confusing.
Experience.
I'm constipated.
I hate the role. I hate that saying of experience because I always pick against it. I always get wrong. Always.
Who do you want to see win the series?
I would love for
Tampa!
Oh, come on.
Come on, I want to see Washington, Tampa, or Pittsburgh, Tampa.
I would love to see the Islanders win the series.
Exactly.
Because I like the Islanders. But I think Tampa will win the series based on the fact that they've been there before. They know what it takes to win a playoff series in the second round. The Islanders don't. Simple as that.
You got to start somewhere, though.
Exactly. The Chicago Blackhawks had to do it, and the Islanders are learning it this year.
The Sharks are doing it as well.
Yes.
They're learning.
Yes, but the Islanders have to. Eventually, they're going to have to win a second round series.
Well, they will.
So why not win it?
But it's not this year. It's not this year. They need their guys.
I'm going to level with you. I don't want Tampa to win because I think their coach is a real douche.
That's
John
okay.
Cooper.
I'm just going to say that right now. I don't really hate anybody on their team. They're a very young team. I don't like their coach.
He's good at what he does, then, obviously, because his prior.
I just
His
don't like
prior
him.
career was a lawyer.
He grinds my gears a little too much, and I hope they lose.
See, I like their old coach more because he had a scar on his face and he looked scarier.
The axe murderer?
He was a Bond villain.
You mean the future coach of the Montreal Canadiens, but no one else wants to admit that? Until when they fire Michel Therrien eventually, guess who's the coach?
They're never going to fire him ever.
Who? Wait, can Boudreaux speak French?
I don't know.
That's a French name.
But Alain Vigneault might be on the hot seat.
No.
Claude Julien could be on the hot seat.
Claude Julien's coming back.
I know he is this year, but I mean, like in future years.
Future, maybe.
Future years.
Potentially.
Wait, Julien got tossed, right?
No, he's still there.
He's coming back.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll get to coach firings in a second.
Sweet.
Soon enough. Soon enough, Cam. You wait your little heart.
You just
Okay. We're good now? Let's get into the Washington-Pittsburgh series. Ovi versus Sid the Kid. Take 2. Obviously, Cam's excited.
It's so good.
But the Caps are down 2-1.
It's okay. It's
So
so
what?
amazing.
I'm worried. I'm worried.
Don't be worried.
I'm scared.
Brooks. Okay, well, we got to go game by game. If we'll get
Game 1.
off. Game 1. Let me find it here. Oh, 4-3 Caps and OT.
Yeah.
TJ Oshie with the winner.
Yep.
Ooh.
Decisively in the net.
It's decisively in the net.
Can the NHL invest in like the camera with just one better frame rate?
A little bit better.
Like
That would be nice.
Minnesota would be in the second round.
I didn't understand why everyone in the Pens was so pissed. Why other fans
It was
were so
clearly
pissed.
in the net.
It was in the net. Granted, okay, the referee probably couldn't have been able to call it a goal, but if they had reviewed it, it still would have been a goal.
Once again, 2004, the call on Martin Jelena is still haunting the NHL. Year after year after year, there's a goal like that. And they're just like, no, we got to call no goal or goal. We got to get it right, guy. Got to get it right.
Calgary's owed a cup still, but I digress.
That is as close to a no goal. Like, that is as close as you'll ever probably get to a goal. But I don't know how that ref called that. I don't know how the ref points his hand. Not only is he not in the right position. Well, he's not in the right position, first of all. But that's from minor reffing that I did when I was growing up. And also, that barely went in the net. And I know the argument with the Pens fans, sorry not to interrupt you. The argument with the Pens fans is if that doesn't go in or it's not enough evidence, then it's automatically a goal because he called it a goal on the ice. If there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, then it's a goal on the ice. That's why they're upset, I think.
Fair enough. I'm going to just assume the reason he called it a goal is because he was on the goal line in the corner. He saw the puck disappear. He saw TJ Oshie celebrate. He figured it went in. He probably in his mind was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have called any. Like he could have blown the play dead and not called it a goal, not a goal.
But due to the fact that nowadays...
But I think he jumped the gun in calling it a goal. However, it was the right call, so I guess...
But we're in a weird state right now with all sports where it's going now transitioning from like human error, where they were told, no, call your instinct, to now it's like they're getting in trouble for calling their instinct because technology is way more advanced now, so we're using it to our advantage. Well, we're calling offsides now. That's crazy.
I think that the challenge for offsides should be removed. Goalie interference, leave it. Offside, get it out.
I still think it's absolutely hilarious.
It's
that the first thing that the announcers went to is they're like, it might still be offside. Did you guys see the replay? It was... I understand why they said that.
They even said, oh, the Pens bench thinks it's offside. They show the replay. It's 2 feet onside.
There could not be more onside.
Like, it's so annoying.
I didn't realize it was Oshie's third goal, so it was his hat trick.
It was.
That's nice. All right, so we go to game 2, where the Pens won 2-1.
Dirty shit started to come.
But that's where the animosity came. Game 1, they were feeling each other.
Brooks Orpik is a clean player. Let's
be honest here. That is because Sidney Crosby is on the team, and they get special treatment.
They get favorable treatment from the officials. It
100%. Is very true. Because if their player did the same thing, he would only get suspended for a game. No. Brooks Orpik,
Chris Letang. Anyways,
Brooks Orpik hits Oli Mata, leaves him with a concussion. Brooks Orpik's a repeat offender and gets 3 games for it. 3 playoff games. That's huge. That's like 10 regular season games.
That's their best shutdown defender.
But the reason being is because he's a repeat offender and because, and I know they're not supposed to take injuries, but there was an injury on the play and there was no need to do what he did.
I didn't see the hit. How late was it?
It was late.
It almost looked like he was going to turn around and
he just
didn't
targeted
see him, but he hit him, I guess.
You could make the argument that he didn't see him, but he saw him. It was like the hit on it was like the David Steckel hit on Sidney Crosby.
Clean?
He knew it was there. It was not clean. It was straight to the head. But he got 3 games for it, which led to Washington obviously losing. He got 5 in a game for that, didn't he? Or just 5 minutes? Or did he get 2 minutes for it? Or nothing for it?
I'm not sure on that one, John Blank.
I didn't see it. I honestly haven't seen it. But he said...
Have you watched any playoff hockey, Dan?
Not really.
Why?
I've been busy.
Doing what?
School.
But you're done.
No, I'm not.
You have an exam in a month. You don't need to study.
Yeah.
It's called the night before.
Yeah, I'll read a 1,000-page textbook
the night before.
I can't
You're
say
right. Because on top of the 200 multiple choice questions I have to do, the 4 practical exams don't matter. I can just win those.
Exactly.
Greg and I each get dose.
Yeah,
obviously.
there you go. Clearly,
I
you don't
watched
need
some of
to
the
study.
game last night.
You don't need.
And I watched.
Hold on. I don't think I've read 1,000
And
pages of paper in.
Do you know why I didn't
a-
watch this game? Because I watched the end of it with you guys. Because you guys didn't watch the beginning of it either. Because we had hockey. Yeah, you're right. You're welcome. Thank you.
I watched
Goodbye.
the end though.
Yeah,
I
we
watched
watched
the end
it.
of it with you.
Oh, so
I didn't,
we did watch
I
it.
didn't
missed-
watch the beginning. And
but I
neither did
saw
you.
that hit.
Oh, we all.
We were in the same
I was
place.
like, what are you?
Don't give me shit for not watching the whole game. You didn't either.
Hey, but I saw the replay a few times to see the hit.
You know what? I haven't. So
Maybe you should watch SportsCenter, Dan.
I was trying
I
to.
haven't watched
I was like,
SportsCenter
what
since
is
Jay
he
and Dan
talking
left.
about?
Yeah, because we had
We were
hockey and
together.
we went through it. Yeah. Jesus. Murphy.
My bad.
Freaking ocean of hate in here today.
My ocean of hate.
Jesus.
All
Orange
right.
down.
Then we
All
go
orange.
on to game 3
What happened?
tonight.
Oh, yes, last night.
Penguins won 3-2,
They were up 3-0 at one point.
and then Chris Letang.
Memory had like
I just
47
want to throw
saves.
Chris Letang,
47 saves last
the
night.
pretty damn good.
non-Norris nominee, Chris Letang for good measure, only played 35.
Where did this hate come from?
It's
Because
Chris
it's
Letang.
a Pittsburgh Penguin player
It's
and he's a
Chris
Philadelphia Flyer fan.
Letang.
What about him? He had like
He
68 points
only
this year.
played 35 minutes. He only had 68 points.
Yeah.
Only. And he threw probably the dirtiest hit I've seen thrown. It was... I'm not trying to be biased. This one was dirtier than the Orpik one to me. Not off timing. Not off of timing. Off of, like,
Blindside to the head.
viciousness of it. Like, whoa. And then he got, what, 2 minutes for interference?
2 minutes for interference and then got a game suspension
Game
for it.
suspension.
1.
But that,
I didn't actually
But
see this. And
because-
I got on Dan for not
I
seeing it.
saw
and I
this hit.
didn't-
Why didn't you watch it, Greg?
Because I had hockey. I was busy scoring
Hockey out
goals.
trumps it all.
Well, do you know what? The preferential treatment of the Pittsburgh Penguins by the NHL led to the 1-game suspension.
No.
I'm
First time offender.
I
He
get
has
it.
a Duncan Keith treatment
No, I
where
get it.
Letang does some real questionable stuff all year. Never gets called on it. Go back and watch it. Type in Chris Letang dirty.
I think Duncan
Plays.
Keith has
Make
more
sure
than
it
don't-
plays on the end of it.
Do not just type in Chris Letang dirty, because it might be him in a shower looking over his shoulder with a demeanic like
And
look.
like a creepy Sidney Crosby photoshopped in.
Don't do it. Don't look up Chris Letang
But if you
dirty.
do that,
Just
there's YouTube videos of people who hate every player, I'm sure. So maybe not. Maybe
I
it'll be
can't make
biased.
a comparison because I have only seen one of the hits, but the hit last night definitely suspendable. I think so.
I didn't actually see what happened.
I thought it was 2 for 2 or 3.
Well, it was a blindside hit, and he left his feet and he elbowed him in the head.
Fucking dirty prick. Marcus Johansson is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's unbelievable. I haven't even seen it.
But
Stupid.
Johansson might play tomorrow. Ole Matt is not playing right now, so
Yeah. well.
there's your difference, I guess. There's the preferential treatment. I don't know.
But they also always have said injuries shouldn't take into account. So,
Seems like more and more that the injury is the deciding
Yeah,
factor
exactly.
now, which is wrong.
2-1 series lead right now for Pittsburgh. How do you see the rest of the series shaping up? Will Marc-Andre Fleury get into the series?
Not unless Murray plays really bad.
Yeah.
Like,
you
really
can't do it
bad.
now. That's like,
Like
the,
8-0.
The
That's what's not
Halak
happening.
argument. The Grace Halak.
It's not
You
happening.
can't do it now. You can't. You just can't.
Can't do it.
Now, how do I see it? I now have to correct myself. Caps. This is going 7. This is going 7. I can't see how it wouldn't be going game 7. So I would say Caps in 7. Dan, are you sticking with your bold?
I'm sticking Caps in 7.
Greg, who'd you have? And
I had Caps in 7, I believe.
Okay, well then I'll maybe be the only one.
I'm not
wrong.
giving up on the dream.
Of
Washington.
Yeah, neither am I.
So we're all
I
in-
still believe in them. Their defensive core is obviously a little weaker without Brooks Orpik there, but I think they can overcome that. And
Nobody thought they were going to roll over the Pens with no problem.
No.
Pittsburgh is as good as they've been since probably they won the Cup.
Now, I think we all can agree we thought this was going to go 7. It still looks like it's going to go 7. And as I said before with the Dallas-St. Louis series, the team that won Game 3 in that series could win the series in Pittsburgh because they have home ice advantage now. So, as I said, the team that wins Game 3 for Dallas could win the series. I would not be surprised to see Pittsburgh win it because going up 2-1 is huge. So, Washington has to win tomorrow night. I could see them honestly winning games 4 and 5, going back to Pittsburgh, playing Game 6, losing Game 6, Game 7 in Washington, and then it's everything on the line.
Game 7 Ovi is a... Last time Game 7, though, that wasn't a good one.
No.
6-1 blowout.
No,
that was the game... The
against
dueling
the
hat
Pens,
trick,
you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the last Game 7 for Washington.
No.
Because they had a
Game
great
7
Game 7
Ovi is not a Game 7 I want to play.
No. No, not an Ovechkin that believes he can win the Cup this year either.
Ovechkin's been very quiet, and the series is still very close. So if he wakes up,
I'm even going to say...
And their power play hasn't been great
A player
either.
I don't want to play in Game 7, because the little things he does that no one else notices, actually everyone does, is insane. Evgeny Kuznetsov. He had a chance at, like, one move over, like he took a step and it would have been a goal. Instead, he does which makes him great, passed it through the legs to Niskanen, who just bombed it and went in. Or no, it hit the post, but...
if it goes to 7, Mr. Game 7.
Yeah, that's why they got...
Damn it.
But here's the thing.
But they have Filthy Phil. Gotta watch out.
He shows up in Game 7. They offer him cheeseburgers for every single goal he scores in the playoff series. It's hot dogs, sorry. You're right. He's not Cheeseburger Eddie, I forgot.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let's go.
The last thing that I was just going to touch on is I think Mike Richards is that guy as well. I think he's a guy that helps you in those later games in a series, especially to wear down the other team. Now, today and earlier this week, there are a couple firings. Let's start with Bruce Boudreau of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, relieved of his duties. It looks like both Minnesota and Ottawa very interested in Bruce Boudreau. What does it mean to Anaheim losing Boudreau? A lot of people thought McLean might take over now because he was the assistant coach there. What's the situation now in Anaheim? Then we'll talk about where Boudreau's probably going to go.
He was on the hot seat earlier in the year. They held the players accountable. It was cup or bust. He was getting fired. We all knew it. We talked about it 2 podcasts ago in regards to who do you blame, the players or the coach? And now you have to blame the coach because you've already blamed the players.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's only the coach. I said the day he got fired, someone is going to get fired in the NHL so they can hire Bruce Boudreau, that's a fact. Chuck Fletcher, GM of the Wild, was spotted in California at the airport like today or yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a wanted man. For sure.
He'll find a
Best
job.
winning percentage in the regular season out of any coach in the NHL right now.
I don't think it's totally his fault.
I don't think they have the right cast of players.
He had a good group of players, but I'm not sold that they're as good as they made them out to be. And their goaltending's not as good as everyone made it out to be. I know they had the lowest combined goals against average, but they don't have anybody that can win the playoff series.
Okay, so Bruce Boudreau, if you're going to take
the Jets.
What team he's going to, let's just say East or West. Don't pick a team.
I think he's a better East coach than he is a West coach, but...
So Ottawa.
Ottawa could be an option.
Okay, no, we said East or West. We'll just stick to it. So
yeah, East. I'm going to go East.
Yeah, I'll say
Who
East.
did he coach previously?
Washington.
Caps.
Oh, yeah.
Not long.
You don't remember the fucking 24/7 where he said fucking a lot?
I do.
Yeah.
He invented the word. Fuck word.
Yeah.
All right. And the other one, Craig Hartley.
Bob
Hartley.
Bob Hartley.
Sorry.
But this was, essentially, you said, guy's going to get fired to sign Boudreau, would not be surprised if Calgary goes hard at him now.
I was surprised they
wants a
canned him after
possession
one bad year.
He brought them to the playoffs last year. His coaching and the fact... He brought them there. He did not have a goalie this season.
They were an anomaly, though, based off advanced stats. We've all talked about this.
You have to keep in mind, he's known to be a very hard-ass coach, too.
Yeah.
So you have to wonder, because look, wins a cup in Colorado, gets canned. Gets the Thrashers to the playoffs, 8 games into the next season, he gets canned, because they're 0-8. Gets Calgary to the playoffs, they have a bad year, he's gone. So maybe it's not necessarily his ability, maybe it's more so his...
coaching
His demeanor
style.
and
his
his-
coaching
Demeanor.
style.
Yeah,
Because that's
he's
three successes he's had, and he's been canned shortly after.
The other guy who I saw on the panel during the lottery, Mark Crawford, is available, and I would not be shocked if he gets a job in the NHL. Putting that one out there.
That's true. Do we have anything else to note on this?
No, I was surprised with Hartley.
surprised.
I was pretty surprised, but I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised to see Carlisle there
Where?
in Calgary.
Oh.
Relationship with Burke.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Because it worked so well the first time.
Well,
They were great. They won a cup. In
yeah,
Anaheim.
they
Oh,
won a
that's
cup in
true.
Anaheim.
That's
They've got a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, it's written
And-
in stone now. That's two teams.
Yeah.
I was like, Anaheim.
I forgot
or
about Anaheim.
Toronto.
You're right.
And Burke was also part of the Vancouver Canucks organization when Carlisle was coaching the Moose.
True.
So there is a long-standing relationship there.
written
Will
in
he
the
go
stars.
for him? I'm not really sure. So,
All right. Let's wrap this B-boy up. Oh,
Yes.
I want to have
Cool.
closing words. The Brandon Weekends have done it. They are in the WHL Cup. They're in
What?
the final for the WHL, for the Ed Chenoweth Cup, against the Seattle Thunderbirds, and they are going down. Yeah.
If you didn't hear that, the Brandon Wheat Kings
Oh.
defeated the Red Deer Rebels in 5 games?
5-5.
In 5 games, and will play the Seattle Thunderbirds for the WHL Championship.
Winner going to Red Deer.
To play in the
guess
Mem
what?
Cup.
Brandon's already won in Red Deer. May as well make it twice.
Oh, and I was just going to throw this out there. For those Toronto Maple Leaf fans. Toronto Maple Leafs, best player in the AHL. Best player in the OHL. Top defenseman in the KHL. All Toronto Maple Leafs players. Because Mitch Marner was named OHL Player of the Year this year.
And who was named Player of the Year?
In the AHL, I believe it was
TJ Brennan.
TJ Brennan.
Oh, no.
Probably someone for the Marlies.
And
They
Nikita
were
Zaitsev.
really good.
And Nikita Zaitsev.
And best player in our hearts, Austin Matthews. Willie Hockey.
Oh, yeah, him as well. That little chestnut.
That guy. Jets, best player, arguably, in college
yeah.
hockey, Kyle Connor. And then arguably best rookie of the year, Shane Gossett. But guys, we're winners. We're winners. What are you doing?
My ass is sweating so much that it...
Oh my! Greg needs
It's
to go home.
streaked
Greg
on the
has
hoop.
ass streaks on the chair. Greg, send
No.
us home. Where did it go? Let's get out of here.
We got hockey.
No, but where did they go to find us?
There's an email account, I believe, called lastminute@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Twitter, YouTube.
That's it.
That's it. Wherever you
all
get
we
your
got.
podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, especially if you're on Android, because not everyone has iTunes. Just check in Last Man In. PC stands for podcast because Cam doesn't know how to spell podcast.
No, because it's easier.
You don't know how to spell it, you
Don't you do
Floozy.
it. I will kick you in the bum.
You floozy.
I will get ass
Floozy.
streak on my toes.
No, it's just sweat, guys. It's because I'm...
Go fix yourself. Okay, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.